The tension was palpable from the very first moment Candace Owens' explosive claims hit social media. Within hours, Erika Kirk found herself at the center of a storm she could never have anticipated. Fans were stunned, scrolling through countless clips and screenshots, unable to believe what they were seeing. The allegations weren't just serious, they were shocking, revealing a side of Erika that few had ever imagined. Whispers of betrayal, secrecy, and hidden agendas spread like wildfire, leaving her friends, family, and fans scrambling to make sense of it all. As Erika stepped into the room for a live interview, the cameras caught every flicker of emotion on her face. Eyes widened, jaws tightened, and the air seemed to crackle with unspoken tension. Candace's statements were relentless, painting Erika as someone who had manipulated and deceived people close to her. Rumors that had simmered in private now erupted in public, forcing Erika to confront accusations she had hoped would never see the light of day. The reactions were immediate and intense. Fans flooded social media, split between disbelief and outrage, while family members posted cryptic messages that only added fuel to the fire. Some whispered that Erika had been planning her own explosive revelation, but no one knew what she would say or if she could ever clear her name. Every frame of the unfolding drama was saturated with suspense. Every comment section seemed to boil with speculation. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Erika, known for her composure, was visibly shaken as she faced questions about Candace's shocking claims. Emotions ran high, voices trembled, and the atmosphere was electric with tension. Friends tried to intervene, advisors whispered in her ear, but nothing could prepare her, or the audience, for what she was about to say. The first words out of Erika's mouth silenced the room. The world watched as a mixture of defiance, regret, and raw honesty spilled forth, leaving some viewers cheering, others gasping, and everyone on the edge of their seats. Could Erika navigate this storm without losing her reputation? Would Candace escalate her accusations? Or was there a chance for an unexpected reconciliation? One thing was certain: no one would forget this confrontation. And the drama was far from over. Fans are still talking, clips are being shared, and every detail of Erika's response is being dissected. The family is left divided, the public is divided, and emotions continue to run unchecked. You might think you know the full story, but as Erika takes a deep breath and prepares to reveal more, one thing is crystal clear: this is only the beginning. And what happens next will shock everyone who thought they had seen it all. The tension had been building for days. Ever since Candace Owens had dropped the shocking footage online, fans were still replaying the clips, unable to believe what they were seeing. And the online forums were buzzing with speculation about Erika Kirk. What no one realized, however, was how personal this storm had become. Behind closed doors, emotions were running raw, and the people closest to Erika were struggling to come to terms with the allegations. The footage itself was just the beginning. Candace had painted a picture of deceit, manipulation, and betrayal that struck at the very core of Erika's life. As Erika sat in her living room, phone buzzing constantly with messages from friends, family, and managers, she could feel her stomach tighten. Every ping seemed like a hammer driving into her chest. She had rehearsed a response in her head countless times, but now, in the quiet of her home before stepping into the public eye, doubts began to creep in. The stakes were enormous. If she handled this wrong, it could irreversibly damage her reputation. If she hesitated too long, people would assume guilt. She rubbed her temples, took a deep breath, and reminded herself that she had weathered storms before, but nothing like this, nothing so public. The first wave of confrontation came when she agreed to speak on live video. Cameras were set up in a neutral space, but even the sterile lighting could not soften the intensity of the situation. As she walked into the frame, the crew whispered last-minute instructions, but Erika barely heard them. All she could focus on were Candace's accusations echoing in her mind. Fans were already watching, some expecting a meltdown, others hoping for a confession. And Erika knew that she had to control not only her words but every micro-expression on her face. Candace's footage had shown moments that, when taken out of context, looked damning. Erika knew that she could explain herself, but the explanation needed to land perfectly, or it would be twisted and weaponized. She started with a small smile, nodding to the camera, trying to convey calm, but inside she felt a storm of anxiety. The crew counted down silently, and then the recording light flickered on. The first question came immediately, sharp and accusatory. "Erika, how do you respond to Candace's claims that you manipulated situations for personal gain?" The words hit like bullets. For a moment, she froze, feeling the weight of every pair of eyes on her. She swallowed hard, letting the silence stretch just long enough to heighten the tension, and then spoke. Her voice was steady, but there was an undeniable tremor underneath, a human crack in the veneer of composure. "I am aware of the claims," she said slowly. "And I want to address them honestly, because the truth matters more than rumors." Fans in the live chat erupted, some cheering for her courage, others demanding specifics immediately. As she continued, Erika recounted events from her own perspective, painting a picture entirely different from what Candace had shown. She spoke of meetings, conversations, and private moments that had been misconstrued. The emotions were real: frustration, hurt, and a desperate need to clear her name. Her eyes glistened, but she did not break. Viewers could sense the authenticity, even as they debated which version to believe. Friends and family later admitted they had never seen her so raw yet composed at the same time. But just as Erika thought she had begun to regain some control over the narrative, a new twist emerged. Someone leaked private messages allegedly between Erika and a close associate. Messages that seemed to contradict parts of her live explanation. Social media erupted again. Hashtags were trending. Clips were circulating, and once loyal fans were turning skeptical. Erika's phone vibrated endlessly with notifications of anger, support, confusion, and betrayal. The pressure was unbearable. She knew she needed a new tactic to regain credibility, to show that she was being transparent and not hiding from the chaos. Meanwhile, Candace remained in the background, not yet issuing a follow-up statement, letting the tension simmer. Some insiders suggested that Candace was watching Erika carefully, analyzing her every word for any sign of weakness. Erika's team scrambled to craft responses, carefully selecting which statements to make public and which to address privately. Every decision mattered. Every misstep could fuel a new scandal. The family, already divided, now found themselves on separate sides of a digital battlefield, arguing over what should be said, how to react, and who could be trusted. The living room that had once been a safe space became a command center for crisis management, filled with laptops, phones, and scribbled notes. The drama escalated further when a former associate stepped forward with their own version of events. The revelation contradicted both Erika and Candace in ways that no one anticipated. Now, multiple narratives were colliding, each with its own set of supporters and detractors. Fans debated passionately online, influencers created videos dissecting every detail, and news outlets picked up the story, giving it a legitimacy that made it even harder for Erika to control. She felt the walls closing in, knowing that any misstep could be immortalized in digital history. In the midst of all this, Erika found herself reflecting on the personal toll. Friendships had been strained, trust had been shattered, and every public appearance felt like walking a tightrope. Yet, despite the chaos, there was a spark of determination. She refused to be reduced to a headline or a clip. She had to reclaim her narrative, and she had to do it in a way that was both honest and compelling. The first step was the live interview. But the bigger challenge lay ahead: navigating the fallout, managing public perception, and confronting Candace directly if the opportunity arose. As the live segment ended, viewers were left in shock. Some believed Erika, feeling a newfound empathy for the struggles she revealed. Others remained unconvinced, citing Candace's evidence as proof that Erika had manipulated events. The comment sections were filled with debates, threads spiraling out of control, and the storm showed no signs of slowing. Erika sat back, exhausted, realizing that this was only the beginning. The fight for her reputation had just begun, and it would require every ounce of composure, strategy, and resilience she could muster. The drama was far from over, and the next chapter promised twists that no one could yet imagine. Fans continued to speculate about what might happen next. Would Erika release more footage to counter Candace's claims? Would Candace escalate, or would a truce emerge from the chaos? And what of the family, now deeply divided by allegiances and interpretations? Every eye was on Erika. Every notification a reminder of the delicate balance between transparency and vulnerability. The live interview had ended, but the consequences rippled outward, touching every corner of social media, every conversation, and every speculation thread. As night fell, Erika reflected on the whirlwind that had consumed her life. The emotional strain was immense, yet there was a clarity emerging from the chaos. She knew that honesty, courage, and strategic communication were her only tools in a storm that seemed designed to break her. She was determined not to let fear dictate her actions, not to let public perception override her reality. The challenges ahead were daunting, but she also understood that every challenge presented an opportunity to reclaim her voice, to show her side of the story, and to redefine the narrative on her own terms. The next day promised even more drama. Reports surfaced of potential legal actions, new leaks, and insider testimonies. Fans were already anticipating the next confrontation, and Erika's every move would be scrutinized. The stage was set for a prolonged battle, one that would test loyalties, reveal secrets, and challenge the very fabric of relationships she had taken for granted. The public's appetite for drama was insatiable, and the unfolding saga was far from over. Yet, amidst the tension, Erika felt a strange sense of resolve. She had faced storms before, but this one was bigger, more public, and more personal. She knew that surviving it would require every ounce of focus, honesty, and resilience she could summon. The drama had begun, and the world was watching. Captivated by the unfolding story of betrayal, confrontation, and the fight for truth, the live footage replayed endlessly on social media. Each clip dissected, each frame analyzed for hidden meaning. Fan reactions poured in, with emotions running high, some defending Erika fiercely, others attacking her mercilessly. The family's divided stance only added fuel to the fire, and whispers of deeper betrayals circulated in private circles. The intensity of the situation was unlike anything Erika had ever experienced. It was no longer just about clearing her name. It was about navigating a labyrinth of public scrutiny, family loyalty, and personal integrity. Through it all, Erika remained acutely aware that this was a turning point. Every choice, every word, every gesture carried weight. The confrontation with Candace was inevitable, but the timing, setting, and approach had to be flawless. She spent hours strategizing, rehearsing possible questions, and anticipating attacks. Her inner circle offered advice, but ultimately, she knew that the responsibility to steer the narrative rested solely with her. The storm was not just external, it was also an internal battle, a test of patience, strength, and clarity under pressure. As the night deepened and social media continued to explode with opinions, Erika prepared herself for what would come next. She knew the narrative was far from settled, that new revelations could emerge at any moment, and that public sentiment could shift in an instant. Yet, she also knew that she had taken the first step, facing the allegations head-on, speaking her truth, and refusing to be silenced. The road ahead was uncertain, filled with unexpected twists, betrayals, and challenges. But she was ready to confront each obstacle with unwavering resolve. The world was watching, fans were reacting, and the family was divided. But Erika understood one thing clearly. This was her story to tell, and no matter what came next, she would face it head-on, determined to reclaim control, to stand firm in her truth, and to navigate the storm with courage and clarity. The battle for her reputation, her relationships, and her very identity had begun, and the unfolding drama promised twists and turns that would leave everyone, fans and foes alike, completely speechless. The storm surrounding Erika Kirk only intensified in the days following her live interview. Every statement she made had been scrutinized, every expression dissected, and social media had become a battleground of opinions. Fans debated passionately about her credibility. Influencers created lengthy breakdowns of her responses, and even casual viewers were swept into the whirlwind. Yet, Erika refused to retreat. She knew that the only way to survive this was to confront it directly, to anticipate every curveball Candace Owens might throw, and to manage the narrative with precision. The tension was unlike anything she had faced before, a constant pressure that seemed to follow her into every meeting, every conversation, every glance at her phone. The next confrontation came unexpectedly. A former confidant of Erika's reached out to the media, claiming that they had information that would contradict both Erika and Candace. The revelation was subtle at first, framed as a casual comment on social media, but it quickly escalated into a full-blown storm. Screenshots of conversations, supposed insider knowledge, and cryptic messages circulated online. Fans were caught in a frenzy, unsure what to believe. Erika's inbox overflowed with messages of support, concern, and criticism, each one a reminder of how high the stakes had become. Erika realized that she had to take control again. She scheduled another live segment, this time with a more controlled environment and a team of advisors to guide her responses. Cameras were set up strategically, lighting adjusted to ensure clarity, and every question was rehearsed meticulously. Yet, despite all the preparation, she felt the familiar twinge of anxiety. She knew that Candace Owens was watching, waiting for any slip, any sign of weakness. The public was waiting, their judgment immediate and unforgiving. Every word she spoke would ripple across the digital world, shaping perceptions, alliances, and loyalties. As the recording began, Erika took a deep breath and addressed the new claims directly. "I am aware of the latest statements being made," she said, her voice steady but tinged with determination. There are always two sides to every story, and I am here to share mine honestly. The cameras captured every nuance, the firmness in her jaw, the flicker of emotion in her eyes, the careful control of her gestures. Viewers could sense her authenticity, even as they debated the truth of her words. Some fans cheered her for courage, others remained skeptical, citing the previous footage and insider claims as evidence against her. Tension escalated further when another unexpected development emerged. A leaked audio clip surfaced, allegedly of a private conversation between Erika and a family member. The snippet, taken out of context, seemed to reinforce Candace's original claims. Social media erupted once more, hashtags trended, fan debates intensified, and every new clip sparked waves of speculation. Erika's team scrambled to verify the authenticity of the audio. But even as questions arose, the public had already formed judgments. The narrative was spinning out of control, and the line between fact and rumor blurred with every passing hour. Despite the mounting pressure, Erika pressed on. She continued to share her perspective, recounting events in detail, explaining misunderstandings, and highlighting the inconsistencies in Candace's claims. Her emotions were wronger at the perceived betrayals, frustration at the distortions of truth, and determination to reclaim her narrative. Friends and family watched closely, some offering silent support, others voicing concerns about how much exposure she was taking. The room felt electric, every heartbeat amplified by the weight of public scrutiny. As the segment progressed, unexpected allies emerged. Some former critics came forward, expressing surprise at Erika's transparency and integrity. Influencers who had previously dissected her words with suspicion began acknowledging the complexity of the situation. Fans who had doubted her now voiced cautious support. Yet, this wave of validation was fragile, threatened by every new leak, every comment, every post from Candace Owens or other insiders. The drama had become a delicate balance, a high-wire act in the digital age. Meanwhile, Candace remained a shadowy figure in the unfolding story, her silence speaking volumes. Speculation about her next move ran rampant. Would she escalate further, release more footage, or attempt a public reconciliation? The uncertainty added a layer of suspense that captivated fans and media alike. Erika knew that every choice she made now would either fortify her position or leave her vulnerable to further attacks. The stakes were no longer just personal. They had become a public spectacle, a performance of resilience, strategy, and emotional control. Amidst the chaos, Erika's family struggled to maintain cohesion. The allegations had divided them, with some members firmly supporting her, others torn between loyalty and doubt. Private conversations became tense, every word weighed for implications. The once close network of relationships now operated under scrutiny, suspicion, and the constant pressure of public judgment. Erika felt the strain but also recognized the importance of navigating these dynamics carefully. Family unity was fragile, and any misstep could fuel the scandal even further. As days turned into nights, Erika's routine transformed into a relentless cycle of strategy, communication, and public engagement. She reviewed footage of her own appearances, analyzed social media trends, and prepared statements with surgical precision. The emotional toll was immense, yet she found clarity in her purpose: to speak her truth, to confront the storm, and to emerge with her integrity intact. The public spectacle continued to evolve, with each new development amplifying the stakes and deepening the intrigue. Unexpectedly, a trusted insider offered a new lead, evidence that could shift public perception significantly. The documents, carefully curated and presented, highlighted discrepancies in Candace's narrative and suggested that some claims had been exaggerated or misrepresented. Erika's team seized the opportunity, preparing to present this information in a controlled, strategic manner. The anticipation was intense. Fans speculated wildly, debates surged, and the digital landscape became a theater of speculation, allegiance, and suspense. The next public statement was critical. Erika approached it with meticulous care, choosing words that were firm, honest, and emotionally resonant. She addressed the allegations directly, clarified misunderstandings, and showcased evidence to counter misleading narratives. Her demeanor conveyed a mix of vulnerability and strength, compelling viewers to pay close attention. Reactions were immediate and mixed. Some fans celebrated her courage, others questioned her motives, and the drama continued to escalate with each passing moment. As Erika navigated these turbulent waters, she also contended with the psychological strain. The relentless scrutiny, the pressure to perform, and the constant public evaluation created an emotional maelstrom. Yet, through it all, she remained committed to her strategy, transparency, resilience, and measured confrontation. Each public appearance, each statement, each response was calculated to protect her reputation, while engaging audiences in a narrative that was both dramatic and compelling. Amidst the ongoing chaos, Erika's supporters mobilized. Fan accounts on social media began highlighting moments of her honesty, dissecting clips to show contradictions in Candace's claims, and rallying around her narrative. Influencers and commentators created videos and posts that examined every angle, contributing to a complex ecosystem of information, opinion, and speculation. The intensity of public engagement became both a tool and a challenge, amplifying her message while also increasing scrutiny. As the days unfolded, the situation reached a fever pitch. Leaked messages, insider revelations, and public debates combined to create an environment where every word mattered. Erika's careful navigation of the drama became a performance of strategy, emotion, and resilience. The family, divided yet watching closely, added a human element to the spectacle, reminding everyone that the conflict was deeply personal, not just a media event. Yet, even as tensions peaked, Erika remained focused. She knew that patience, clarity, and strategic engagement were essential. Every response, every appearance, every acknowledgement of the allegations had to be deliberate. The narrative was fragile, and the public's attention was both an opportunity and a risk. The drama was far from over, and the next moves would determine whether Erika could reclaim her reputation or remain ensnared in the whirlwind of public scrutiny and sensationalized claims. With every passing moment, the stakes grew higher. New leaks appeared, speculation intensified, and fan engagement surged. Erika's determination never wavered. She faced each challenge with a mixture of courage, strategy, and emotional intelligence. The unfolding story captivated audiences, drawing them deeper into a web of drama, confrontation, and unexpected twists. The storm had begun, and Erika Kirk was at its center, ready to confront every challenge, reveal her truth, and navigate a labyrinth of public scrutiny, family division, and personal stakes that would keep the world watching, guessing, and debating for weeks to come. The following days were a whirlwind of activity, each moment more intense than the last. Erika Kirk had barely slept, her nights consumed by the endless cycle of notifications, news alerts, and social media commentary. Every ping on her phone felt like an alarm bell, a reminder that the storm was far from over. Fans were dissecting every interview, every public appearance, and even the subtle expressions on her face. Candace Owens remained a looming presence in the background, silent but powerful, allowing speculation to drive the narrative while the public hungered for the next revelation. Erika knew that her next move had to be strategic, one that would both address lingering doubts and solidify her credibility. She convened with her advisors, mapping out a plan to confront the allegations in a way that was dramatic yet controlled. The goal was clear: reclaim the narrative, demonstrate transparency, and show emotional authenticity without appearing defensive. Every possible angle was considered, from press statements to controlled interviews, social media posts, and even subtle engagements with influential commentators. The pressure was immense, but Erika felt a renewed sense of purpose. She had to take control or risk being defined by Candace's version of events. The next live segment was arranged with meticulous planning. Cameras were positioned to capture the nuance of every gesture, lighting adjusted to convey seriousness and intimacy, and the questions were pre-screened to allow Erika to respond with precision. Yet, despite this preparation, the emotional weight of the situation was undeniable. As she walked into the frame, the energy in the room was electric, a mix of anticipation, tension, and scrutiny. Every movement was deliberate, every glance, every tone of voice, carefully measured to project honesty and composure. The segment began with a powerful statement from Erika. "I know many of you have questions, and I want to answer them openly," she said, her voice steady, carrying a mixture of defiance and vulnerability. The first few questions were expected, focusing on Candace's original allegations. Erika responded with clarity, recounting her version of events with a mix of factual recounting and emotional transparency. She acknowledged moments of miscommunication, personal shortcomings, and past mistakes, but she emphasized her integrity and the manipulations that had been misrepresented in Candace's footage. Fans watching were riveted, some expressing support, others skeptical, but everyone captivated by the intensity of the confrontation. Just as the initial tension began to ease, an unexpected development emerged. An anonymous source released what appeared to be private correspondence between Erika and a colleague, seemingly contradicting parts of her narrative. The leak sent shockwaves through social media. Fans reacted immediately, dividing further between defenders and critics. The pace of events accelerated, the digital landscape exploding with speculation, opinion, and analysis. Erika's advisors scrambled to verify the authenticity of the messages and prepare her response, knowing that any misstep could escalate the situation. Messages and prepare her response, knowing that any misstep could escalate the situation further. Despite the pressure, Erika remained focused. She addressed the leaked messages head-on, explaining the context behind every statement, highlighting inconsistencies in the leak, and showing how the excerpts had been selectively presented to mislead the public. Her composure and articulate responses impressed some viewers, while others continued to question her motives. The storm of opinions raged on, a constant reminder that navigating public perception required both strategy and resilience. Amid the chaos, personal relationships became strained. Family members, already divided by loyalty and interpretation of events, now faced heightened tension. Some members voiced unconditional support, while others questioned the wisdom of continuing to engage with the public so directly. Private conversations became charged with emotion. Arguments flared over the best way to respond, and Erika found herself mediating between conflicting viewpoints even as she tried to manage her own stress. The family dynamic had become another layer in the unfolding drama, a reminder that the stakes were both public and intensely personal. The drama escalated further when a former ally of Candace stepped forward with additional claims, seemingly validating parts of the original footage. The timing was calculated, designed to maximize public reaction and prolong the story. Social media erupted once more. Hashtags surged, and fan communities fractured into factions. Erika's team worked tirelessly to craft statements that countered the narrative, emphasized her honesty, and maintained public engagement without inflaming the situation further. The challenge was immense, but Erika's focus remained unshaken. She understood that her credibility was at stake, and every response mattered. As the days unfolded, Erika's visibility increased dramatically. Interviews, live segments, and public statements became a continuous cycle. Every moment was amplified, every nuance examined, and every perceived misstep magnified. Yet, through it all, Erika remained composed. She recognized that transparency and measured engagement were her most powerful tools. She navigated difficult questions with precision, balanced emotional authenticity with strategic communication, and consistently reinforced her narrative while acknowledging the complexity of the situation. Unexpectedly, an influential commentator who had been critical of Erika publicly reversed their stance. After analyzing the footage, statements, and context, they highlighted inconsistencies in Candace's claims and praised Erika's composure and honesty. The shift in public perception was subtle but significant, providing a glimmer of relief amidst the ongoing storm. Fans began rallying, amplifying Erika's perspective, and challenging narratives that had previously dominated the discourse. The momentum began to shift, but the situation remained volatile. Amidst the public drama, Erika also faced internal challenges. The psychological toll of constant scrutiny, conflicting advice, and personal attacks was immense. Sleep was elusive, and moments of doubt crept in despite her strategic planning. Yet, she drew strength from her purpose to assert her truth, maintain control of her narrative, and navigate the storm with integrity. Each decision became a delicate balance between honesty, emotional expression, and strategic communication. Missteps were costly, and every word carried weight. As the saga progressed, new revelations emerged. Leaked documents, additional insider testimonies, and unexpected media reports layered complexity onto an already intricate story. Erika addressed each development with careful deliberation, presenting evidence, providing context, and maintaining a narrative that emphasized her integrity. The public remained divided, some convinced of her honesty, others steadfast in their skepticism. But the intensity of engagement underscored the drama's grip on the collective imagination. The family dynamic continued to evolve in parallel. Private conversations, emotional confrontations, and difficult decisions highlighted the deeply personal nature of the unfolding events. Relationships were tested, trust was challenged, and alliances shifted in response to new information. Erika navigated these dynamics with a mixture of firmness and empathy, understanding that personal and public stakes were intertwined and that her actions within the family could have ripple effects on public perception. Amidst the chaos, Erika also recognized opportunities. She began leveraging moments of transparency, candid reflections, and authentic emotional expression to regain public trust. Interviews emphasized her perspective, clarified misconceptions, and offered insights into the pressures and complexities she faced. the narrative slowly evolved, balancing dramatic tension with moments of vulnerability and resilience. Fans and critics alike watched closely, debating the veracity of her claims and the sincerity of her responses. The digital landscape remained a critical battlefield. Social media platforms buzzed with speculation, analysis, and commentary. Fan communities organized to support Erika, dissecting statements, sharing clips, and challenging opposing narratives. Every new development became fodder for debate, every comment a potential influence on broader public perception. Erika's team monitored trends, engaged with supporters strategically, and ensured that messaging remained consistent and impactful. The stakes were enormous, and the pressure was unrelenting. Despite the intensity, Erika's resolve strengthened. She recognized that navigating this storm required both emotional endurance and strategic thinking. Transparency, honesty, and controlled engagement were her tools, and she wielded them carefully. Every public appearance, statement, and interaction became a calculated effort to shape the narrative, reinforce credibility, and maintain momentum in a story that had captivated the world. As the days turned into weeks, the unfolding drama reached new heights. Leaks, insider claims, and social media speculation continued to drive engagement, while Erika's meticulous management of her narrative gradually shifted public perception. Fans who had doubted her began to reconsider. Commentators adjusted their analysis, and the conversation evolved from blind criticism to nuanced debate. The intensity of the story had not waned, but Erika's control over her narrative had grown, demonstrating her resilience, strategy, and ability to navigate unprecedented public scrutiny. Every interaction, every statement, and every piece of evidence now played a role in shaping the unfolding saga. Erika Kirk remained at the center, balancing personal stakes with public perception, family loyalty with media strategy, and emotional authenticity with strategic communication. The storm continued, unpredictable and intense, yet she faced it with unwavering focus, fully aware that each decision could influence the trajectory of her reputation, relationships, and the story itself. Fans and media alike were captivated, unable to look away from the drama that had consumed Erika's life. The story was no longer just about allegations. It had become a complex interplay of trust, betrayal, strategy, and emotional endurance. Erika's journey was a testament to the challenges of navigating public scrutiny while maintaining personal integrity, and the world watched, riveted by the unfolding saga, as she prepared for the next chapter in a story that promised even more unexpected twists, confrontations, and revelations. The unfolding saga showed no signs of slowing, and the intensity reached new heights when Erika Kirk's next public statement made waves across social media. The careful planning had paid off. She addressed the lingering doubts with a level of composure that stunned both supporters and skeptics. "I understand the confusion, the speculation, and the frustration," she said, her voice calm but imbued with undeniable emotion. "But I am committed to transparency, and I will continue to share my side of the story with clarity and honesty." Every word was deliberate, crafted to reassure her supporters while challenging detractors to consider the full context. The response from fans was immediate and polarized. Some praised her for courage, resilience, and authenticity, expressing admiration for how she had navigated relentless scrutiny. Others remained skeptical, focusing on leaked messages and Candace Owens' original footage. The digital landscape had become a theater. Of debate, where every clip, comment, and headline was analyzed, shared, and dissected. Erika's team monitored the conversation closely, responding strategically to misinformation while amplifying moments that highlighted her honesty. The stakes had never been higher. Amid the chaos, Erika faced another unexpected challenge. A former friend, who had previously supported her, came forward with statements that contradicted parts of her narrative. The timing was calculated, seemingly designed to maximize impact and reignite public debate. Erika's advisors scrambled to assess the credibility of these new claims, preparing responses that would counter the narrative without escalating conflict. She understood the delicate balance required. Too much defensiveness could appear guilty. Too little could allow rumors to gain traction. Despite the mounting pressure, Erika maintained her composure. She addressed the new allegations directly, providing context and clarification while highlighting inconsistencies. Her approach was deliberate, blending emotional transparency with strategic communication. Viewers watched closely, captivated by the tension and the drama. Some fans shifted allegiance, impressed by her resilience and clarity, while others remained entrenched in doubt, creating a continuous cycle of debate and speculation. The family dynamic added another layer of complexity. Members were increasingly vocal online, some posting subtle support, others questioning her decisions. Private conversations became emotionally charged, and alliances shifted as the story unfolded. Erika recognized that these interactions were critical, not only for family cohesion but also for public perception. Every public or private misstep could be magnified, reinforcing skepticism or eroding trust. She approached each discussion with caution, striving to maintain both relationships and credibility. As the public engagement intensified, the pressure of living under constant scrutiny took its toll. Erika navigated sleepless nights filled with strategy sessions, social media monitoring, and media preparation. The relentless cycle of engagement, response, and analysis was mentally exhausting, but she remained focused on her primary goal: reclaiming control over her narrative. Each calculated statement, each measured gesture, and each public appearance served to reinforce her credibility and engage fans meaningfully. Candace Owens' presence loomed large throughout. Her silence was strategic, creating anticipation and speculation about her next move. Would she release additional footage, escalate her accusations, or attempt a public reconciliation? The uncertainty fueled both public fascination and anxiety. Erika knew that anticipating Candace's actions was essential. She had to remain one step ahead while balancing honesty, emotional resonance, and strategic communication. Every decision mattered. The stakes escalated further when a new leak surfaced. An audio recording of a private conversation involving Erika and a trusted associate. Taken out of context, the clip suggested that Erika had been less forthcoming than she claimed. Social media erupted, fans debated fiercely, and the narrative risked spinning out of control. Erika addressed the situation swiftly, providing context, explaining misinterpretations, and reinforcing her commitment to transparency. The public response was mixed, but her prompt and measured reaction helped stabilize perceptions among a significant portion of viewers. As the story developed, unexpected allies emerged. Commentators who had previously criticized her now highlighted discrepancies in Candace's claims, praising Erika's resilience and clarity. Fan communities rallied, dissecting footage, sharing accurate context, and challenging false narratives. The shift was gradual but meaningful, providing Erika with renewed momentum and a platform to continue clarifying her narrative. The drama remained intense, but she had begun to reclaim a measure of control. Amidst this public spectacle, the personal impact of the drama was profound. Relationships were tested, trust had been strained, and Erika's emotional endurance was continuously challenged. Yet, through it all, she demonstrated remarkable fortitude, her ability to engage authentically while managing complex dynamics. Family divisions, media scrutiny, and public perception showcased her strategic acumen and emotional resilience. In parallel, the media landscape continued to amplify every development. Outlets dissected statements, analyzed social media trends, and highlighted new revelations. Fans eagerly consumed each update, debating interpretations and forming alliances around different narratives. Erika's team carefully monitored these developments, ensuring that her responses remained timely, precise, and aligned with her overarching strategy. Every moment had the potential to shape public perception and influence the unfolding story. Erika also took proactive steps to shift the narrative in her favor. She participated in controlled interviews, crafted posts, emphasizing transparency, and highlighted moments that demonstrated her integrity. These efforts, combined with her consistent composure and strategic responses, began to influence public sentiment subtly. Supporters gained confidence, neutral observers reconsidered initial skepticism, and even some critics acknowledged the complexity of the situation. The drama remained gripping, but Erika's efforts had started to create balance amid the chaos. Unexpected developments continued to emerge. Insiders provided context that challenged Candace's claims, and leaks were countered with verified statements, highlighting discrepancies and offering clarity. Fans and media alike analyzed these developments, creating a layered and dynamic narrative that kept everyone engaged. Erika's ability to navigate this landscape with precision, emotional intelligence, and resilience became increasingly evident. As the days turned into weeks, Erika faced the challenge of sustaining momentum. Public attention was fickle, and each new development had the potential to either reinforce or undermine her narrative. She continued to engage thoughtfully, leveraging transparency, authenticity, and strategic timing to maintain control. Every interview, statement, and social media post became a tool in the broader effort to reclaim her story and manage public perception effectively. The family situation remained complex. Members continued to navigate divided loyalties, emotional strain, and public scrutiny. Erika approached these dynamics with care, balancing empathy, honesty, and strategic communication. The interplay between personal relationships and public narrative underscored the multifaceted challenges she faced. Every decision had consequences, and she remained vigilant to ensure that personal and professional stakes were managed thoughtfully. As new revelations and debates unfolded, Erika's resolve strengthened. She recognized that the story was far from over, that additional twists, leaks, and confrontations were likely, and that her ability to remain composed and strategic would be critical. The public spectacle continued, drawing intense attention and emotional investment from fans, commentators, and critics alike. Erika's focus on transparency, resilience, and strategic engagement allowed her to navigate the storm while maintaining credibility. The saga had transformed into a high-stakes drama, blending personal relationships, public scrutiny, and intense media focus. Erika Kirk remained at the center, balancing emotional authenticity with strategic communication, family dynamics with public perception, and immediate crises with long-term narrative control. Fans continued to debate, media outlets continued to analyze, and the story unfolded with relentless intensity, keeping everyone riveted and anticipating each next move. Every interaction, every statement, and every revelation now carried extraordinary weight. Erika navigated this environment with a combination of strategic insight, emotional intelligence, and resilience, demonstrating her capacity to manage unprecedented pressure. The drama continued to grip audiences, drawing them deeper into a narrative filled with suspense, confrontation, and unexpected twists. The storm was far from over, but Erika Kirk had established herself as a central figure, ready to confront every challenge and reclaim her story amidst relentless scrutiny and public fascination. As we reach the closing chapter of this extraordinary saga, it's impossible not to reflect on the sheer intensity of what unfolded. Erika Kirk faced allegations that could have destroyed anyone's reputation. And yet, through every leak, every shocking claim, and every moment of public scrutiny, she stood her ground with a combination of resilience, strategy, and raw honesty. Her journey has been a masterclass in navigating the impossible, balancing personal stakes, family dynamics, and relentless media attention while attempting to maintain a sense of self amidst a storm of conflicting narratives. The events have been dramatic, emotional, and at times almost unbearable to witness. Yet they reveal the extraordinary complexity of life under the constant gaze of the public eye. Fans have been captivated not only by the allegations themselves, but by the emotional rollercoaster that followed. The initial shock, the intense debates on social media, the leaked messages and clips, and the ongoing speculation created a perfect storm of tension that drew viewers deeper into the story. Each twist and turn forced audiences to question what they thought they knew, highlighting the fragility of perception and the power of narrative. Erika's story has reminded us all that, in the age of instant information, the line between truth and rumor can become perilously thin, and the impact of public judgment can be profound and long-lasting. Yet, beyond the scandal, the saga of Erika Kirk is also a story of human endurance. Her ability to confront Candace Owens' allegations, head-on maintain composure under pressure, and strategically navigate every new development showcases an extraordinary level of emotional intelligence. She faced personal attacks, family tensions, and the ceaseless scrutiny of fans and critics alike, and still managed to project authenticity. This is a testament not only to her character but to the power of perseverance when confronted with overwhelming odds. Her courage in sharing her side of the story, in clarifying misunderstandings, and in directly confronting every challenge has inspired countless viewers who may themselves face moments of doubt, misunderstanding, or judgment in their own lives. The family element adds yet another layer of fascination. The way private relationships were tested, loyalty questioned, and trust strained demonstrates that drama isn't only a public spectacle, it's deeply personal. The involvement of family members, the emotional confrontations, and the subtle shifts in alliances all amplified the tension and reminded viewers that behind every public figure is a network of personal connections. Fraught with complexity and vulnerability, the saga has given us a window into the intimate consequences of public drama, showing that no matter how carefully one plans, emotions, relationships, and human fallibility remain unpredictable forces that can change the course of any story. For those who followed the story from start to finish, the narrative has been a lesson in both skepticism and empathy. The frenzy of social media commentary, the polarizing fan reactions, and the constant debate over authenticity have made it clear that in a world dominated by instant opinions and viral moments, understanding context is key. Erika Kirk's journey highlights the importance of giving space for nuance, recognizing the difference between selective representation and total truth, and appreciating the courage it takes to face relentless public scrutiny. It's a reminder that public narratives are never as simple as they may appear, and that judgment often comes before full understanding. As we consider what lies ahead for Erika, there are still unresolved questions. Will Candace Owens release additional footage? How will the family continue to navigate these divided loyalties? Will public perception shift again in response to new leaks or statements? The story is far from finished, and the potential for further twists, revelations, and confrontations remains high. Fans and observers are left on edge, eager for the next development, yet also reflecting on the extraordinary resilience demonstrated by Erika throughout the ordeal. The drama continues to captivate because it blends the unpredictability of human emotion with the spectacle of public scrutiny in a way that feels both thrilling and unsettling. But beyond the drama, there's also a call to reflection. Erika Kirk's experience encourages all of us to think critically about the information we consume, the judgments we make, and the empathy we extend to those caught in public storms. It's easy to get swept up in speculation, to take sides, and to react emotionally. Yet her story illustrates the importance of patience, perspective, and understanding context. Every accusation, every leak, every public statement is part of a larger narrative, one that deserves careful consideration rather than instant condemnation. Her journey is a reminder that integrity, resilience, and clarity of communication can withstand even the most intense scrutiny if approached with strategy and For viewers who have been following every moment, this is your opportunity to engage and participate in the conversation. Share your thoughts, reactions, and reflections on how Erika has managed this extraordinary situation. Do you believe in her transparency and honesty? How do you interpret Candace Owens' role in the unfolding drama? What lessons can be drawn about the balance between public narrative and private reality? By commenting, liking, and sharing your perspective, you become part of the ongoing story, helping to shape the dialogue around truth, perception, and resilience. Your engagement amplifies voices, highlights different viewpoints, and contributes to a broader understanding of the complexities involved in situations like this. Likewise, subscribing to the channel ensures that you won't miss any future developments. As the saga continues, additional insights, analyses, and updates will be shared, keeping you informed and connected to the story in real time. Each new revelation, leak, or statement will add layers to an already complex narrative, and being part of the community allows you to witness the drama, discuss its implications, and reflect on the emotional and strategic dimensions of the events as they unfold. Subscribing is more than just a formality, it's a way to engage meaningfully with a story that has captivated a global audience. More than anything, Erika Kirk's journey serves as a reminder of the unpredictability of public life and the resilience required to navigate intense scrutiny. The story isn't just about allegations or public debate, it's about endurance, courage, and the human capacity to maintain dignity under pressure. The intense scrutiny, the leaks, the emotional confrontations, and the polarized reactions all contribute to a narrative that feels as real as it is dramatic. It's a reflection of both the power and the peril of living in a world where every moment can be shared, analyzed, and debated by millions. As we close this chapter, remember that the drama is far from over. Erika Kirk remains a central figure in an unfolding story that continues to surprise, challenge, and captivate. Her resilience, strategic thinking, and commitment to transparency serve as a compelling example of how to navigate public challenges with integrity. Your engagement, your questions, and your reflections help shape the conversation and ensure that the story is seen from multiple perspectives. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Comment below with your opinions, share your insights on the unfolding events, and let us know how you interpret Erika Kirk's handling of this unprecedented public storm. Like this video if you've been following every twist and turn, and subscribe to stay updated on all future developments. Your voice matters, your perspective enriches the dialogue, and your engagement keeps the story alive in a meaningful way. Erika Kirk's journey is ongoing, the drama is real, and your participation makes you part of a story that continues to unfold with intensity, suspense, and unexpected revelations. Every click, every comment, and every share contributes to the collective understanding of the narrative. By engaging, you are not just a spectator, you are an active participant in the story's evolution. Reflect on the emotional highs and lows, consider the strategic moves, and think critically about the lessons embedded in the drama. Erika's experience is both a cautionary tale and a showcase of resilience, and your perspective adds depth and dimension to the ongoing conversation. Don't let the story pass by. Engage now, Share your thoughts, and make your voice heard. The saga of Erika Kirk is far from over, and your participation ensures that you are part of the ongoing dialogue surrounding truth, perception, and public scrutiny. Like, comment, and subscribe, and join a community of viewers who are navigating this extraordinary drama together. Every opinion counts, every perspective matters, and the story continues to unfold in ways that are as dramatic, surprising, and emotionally charged as the events that brought us here. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and remember that in the world of public drama, every moment matters. Erika Kirk has shown the strength, strategy, and resilience required to face unimaginable scrutiny, and your engagement ensures that the story continues to reach new audiences, spark meaningful discussion, and reveal the complexities of navigating truth, perception, and human emotion under the public eye. The saga continues, and now you are part of it. Comment, like, subscribe, and make your voice part of the unfolding history.